Dear students, welcome to EPG. I'm Tanya Thomas from Srimati VHT Central Institute of Home Science, Bangalore. Today we'll be doing understanding children's behavior and habit formation during child development. To start off, children are a gift from God, so the early years of child's life are very important for his or her health and development. So what is child development? Child development refers to the biological, psychological and emotional changes that occur in human beings between birth and the end of adolescence as the individual progresses from dependency to increasing autonomy. It is a continuous process with a predictable sequence yet having a unique course for every child. So what is behavior? Behavior is the aggregate of the responses, reactions or movement made by an individual in any situation. Habit formation is the process by which new behaviors become automatic, old habits are hard to break and new habits are hard to be formed because the behavioral patterns we repeat are imprinted in our neural pathways, but it is not possible to form new habits through repetition. Understanding children's behavior. A child's behavior is molded by the effects of his or her environment they live in, their culture, their contextual and individual different influences, and their play associates, and so on. Children inhibit certain behaviors without even knowing their meaning or even understanding whether it is good or bad for them. Each behavior is nurtured by their surroundings. So the fundamental priority is to understand the reasons for their developing behaviors. To know this, it is very essential to consider how frequently the behavior occurs, what it may be in response to, in which setting it occurs, and how extreme it is. These observations need to be recorded and compared critically in order to know whether behavioral guidance for the child is needed or no. Kids of the present day manage their emotions and conform to their behavioral expectations of the world around them. There are certain strange behaviors shown by children like passiveness, withdrawal, coyness, cooperativeness, destructiveness, aggressiveness, etc. to achieve what they want or like, lacking the understanding of knowing their behavior after effects on others. This nowadays is a normal behavioral pattern of the child's growth and development. Hence, the key to understand a child's behavior is to aim to identify the reason of their behaviors. So, we look at what are the factors influencing children's behavior. There are a lot of factors that can influence children's behavior. Some of them are environment. Environment of a child is a place where a child plays, learns and grows up. All subtle changes happening here make way to new behaviors. Environment of a child includes house, family, members, culture, tradition, school, playmates, beliefs, religion, child rearing routines, lifestyle and etc. Children are exposed to a variety of such environmental variables that mend their behavior. Some behavior can be socially accepted and some fall to the category of antisocial behaviors. Parents are another influencing factor. Parents nowadays are a key to influencing child's behavior. Everything from the way parents approach their children to what freedom they give a dramatic effect on the child. It can either be acceptable or not acceptable. Some of the children imitate their parents and inhibit certain behaviors. The next one is media. Media in this age creates a sharp influence in any child. Children's certain behavior is designed by the books and magazines they read, programs they watch, video games they play, and also the characters they watch and go crazy about. For instance, a child who always watches a show which puts out a lot of violence steps into the world of aggression without even knowing and becoming aggressive for simple things. Media takes them to a different level of thinking and also to a fantasy world. It is a key to reach their level of world of enjoyment. These influences their talk, walk, grooming and selection and so on. Poverty. Children reared in an impoverished setting have a chance to be at risk for challenging behaviors. For example, if they live in a setting where there aren't any good positive role models, they tend to get into behaviors which are not acceptable to the society. Wholly, they cannot be blamed as certain behaviors are done for their bread and butter for a day. When there are not any good educational or good family base, they get hooked up with low behaviors. Single parent families. Single parent families are very common these days. Divorced parents should bring up their children with a mutual understanding to provide what their children needs. If not, child can enter the stage of depression, aggression, despair, loneliness, frustration, which itself will make them a part of unruly, disrespectful behaviors. The needs can also inhibit hatred to the family. Addition of a sibling. Children should be explained when a new member is to be arrived in the family, so that children will accept the new member in a happy way instead of getting anxious, tensed, annoyed and lonely. These are some of the factors influencing child's behavior. When a child displays such challenging behaviors, it is vital to note the frequency of the behavior, the situation, the intensity to deal with it when it goes out to the next level. Developing a behavior guidance policy. When the behavior of child changes, it affects the environment around the child, so it is necessary to come up with some behavioral guidance policy in order to guide the child, to mold them into an acceptable behavioral human. The behavioral guidance policies can differ related to the age of the child, factors bringing up the change and also the environment. So, policies should be brought up in such a way that children themselves should try managing their own behaviors with the help of the policies. So, in order to put up the policies, children should be observed in all aspects. History should be collected from teachers, parents, neighbors and peers, child interactions, environments and etc. Guidelines for the behavioral policy should be positive, clear-cut, practical and appropriate to the behavior to be modified, should have a focused goal and should be holistically acceptable to everyone around the child. Apart from this, there should be a commitment of ongoing and continual assessment, planning, implementation and evaluation. Some points for the parents to encourage good behavior in children. Children imitate their parents, so it is the duty of the parents to see to it that they display good behaviors in front of their kids, or else it will be like they themselves teaching their kids bad behaviors indirectly. The second point, if the parent finds a bad behavior from the child, they need to make their child understand how they feel about it. This can make the child empathetic and can make them feel some things in parents' perspective, which can help them change their odd behaviors. Third pointer, if the parent finds the child in a good behavior, give the child positive praises and good feedbacks so that they are well encouraged to do what their parent thinks is good. The fourth pointer, parents should always be open for the kids to communicate to them so that they will not feel that they are not given attention. Apart from this, parents should get down to their kids' level of thinking. Fifth pointer is active listening is very important between the child and the parents and the caretakers. Listening actively to the kids talk and repeating what they say will make them cope with their emotions. This can also diffuse many potential temper tantrums. The sixth pointer is parents should always try to keep their promises so that the child will have a good trust and respect to the parents so that they will listen to their parents' words. Seventh pointer, clear and simple instructions should be given to children instead of making it complicated and forcing them to obey it. When it is simple, they feel easy to accept it. The eighth pointer, parents should always make their children feel that they are important to them. They should try to engage the child with them in their simple activities so that child feels that they are a family. Hence, dealing with children's behavior in one of the most challenging aspects for the parents. So, behavior of the child should be understood and guided by the parents to help the child behave appropriately. A positive and constructive approach is often a good way to mend and direct the child's behavior. Habit formation. Habit plays a very important role in day-to-day life. Everyone acquires different habits depending on the situation of life. Some habits may be good and some bad. Habit formation is developed psychologically and physiologically. Physiological basis is related to the nerve system. If an act is repeated n number of times, a nervous connection is formed, making a pathway which converts it into a sensory action to motor action. Psychological habits are acquired dispositions or tendencies. In this, anything learned or experienced by a child is retained in the mind of the child. When this experience is repeated, it is firmly retained in the child's mind. This firm retained experience strengthens and forms into a habit. Habits at times develop during boredom in children. This creates a recreation for some kids and gives them a soothing effect. They take it as an entertainment. Some children, when not given proper heed, can continue with the habit they indulge in. Some habits disappear as they grow. So parents and the caretakers play an important role in bringing up a child. Parents, when frustrated with their busy life, can get annoyed and can react, not really wanting to harm their kids. So parents should be a bit thoughtful to control their emotions in such situations. Advantages and disadvantages of habit formation. Some of the advantages of habit formation are: good habits provide a feeling of respect, stableness and security. Habits are automatic, so higher mental process is not required. It reduces stress, help in better activities, make the action simpler, quicker and accurate. It saves time and energy, does not require conscious attention. Habitual actions cause less effort and less strain. So what are the disadvantages of habit formation? There is a danger of becoming slaves to the habit acquired. There will not be any lane for new thinking or creativity. Habits become mechanical. It can be interference or other activities. Adjustment and change in routine is quite difficult. There can be negative physical and psychological effects. As mentioned above, habits can be good or bad. All children at some developmental stage display repetitive behaviors, but whether they may be considered disruptive behavior depend on the frequency and the effect they have on physical, emotional and social functioning. These behaviors arise intentionally, get repetitive in action and incorporate in child's customary behaviors. And some habits arise by imitating adults' behavior. Here are some habit disorders. First one is thumb sucking. Kids suck their thumb as they get a lot of comfort and feel secure and calm. Certain children in their fetal stage itself develop this thumb sucking. In fetal stage, thumb sucking is a good sign of fetal development. Whereas as child grow up, thumb sucking is an act performed when the child is scared, get tensed, insecure, bored, trying to adjust to situations, then to fall asleep at bedtime. Thumb sucking in children can have an impact in the alignment of developing teeth, which can lead to braces, appliance later in life. The second one is nail biting. This is a common nervous habit like thumb sucking. Children bite nails for n number of reasons like thumb sucking. Some children eventually stop this activity as they grow up, but some carry it on. So, in order to control it, it's the duty of the parents and the caregivers of the child to know the underlying causes of this Activity. If the cause is known, help the child to open up and ventilate what is disturbing them or what they are thinking of while engaging in this habit. The third one is head banging and body rocking. This is a rhythmic movement disorder which involves the whole body of the child. This habit to a greater extent can lead to further developmental disorder like autism. Children who engage in such activities do not do it to harm themselves, but parents should be vigilant enough seeing to it that the child does not harm themselves while engaging in such activities. Hair pulling. Children who engage in hair pulling do it at predictable times like when they go to bed, get in the morning, when they get fussy while fighting, when getting annoyed, while showing anger, and so on. In order to stop this activity, reward system should be brought up which can pull out the child from this activity and make them motivated to the reward. Breath holding. Breath holding spells are when the child holds the breath for few seconds and then loses consciousness. This habit normally stops at the age of 5 and do not go beyond it. This spell is categorized into two, that is cyanotic and pallid. Cyanotic makes the child turn blue and pallid makes the deadly pale. So parents should be watchful to see to it that child is not harmed. Tics. Tics are a type of twitches which are repeated frequently and involve the body parts. Tics can involve any body part, like there are vocal tics and motor tics. Under these are eye blinking, nose twitching, head jerking, shoulder shrugging. Teeth grinding. Teeth grinding is also called as bruxism or clenching. This is a normal development in around half of the infants when the teeth erupt. Teeth grinding may occur during sleep. Some children carry this activity to their adulthood. When it is carried to the adulthood, it causes jaw and dental problem. So, for this, dentists suggest a mouth guard for children so that they do not teeth grind in the night and also can cease tooth problems later in life. Masturbation. Masturbation is a common habit in children. It is found both in boys and girls. In this habit, children of age 5 to 6 age group play with their genital organs. It is a deliberate self-stimulation of the genital organs which gives them self-comfort and sexual arousal. The comforts they get from this makes them repeat the act. Parents in a good way should try to bring them out from this act when it goes beyond the limit by distracting them, by improving the parental affection and positive reinforcement techniques. Hence, these are some of the habit disorders found in children. So, to conclude this session, the first 8 years are the most crucial years because it lays foundation for the later development in an individual's life. Children's behavior is molded by many factors. These factors play an important role in holistic development of the child. Each development of the child in each age is like a milestone which has to be nurtured, cared and developed well by taking off the weeds of it. So, to put it in a nutshell, building a positive atmosphere at home and good family relation will make the child feel loved, cared and secure, which itself will make a pathway for good behaviors and habits.